negotiation.
He has ordered
It is.
the
The hostage negotiation. Look. I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
And now the questions are never going to end. They will not ever, ever end. They're going to get more and more and more serious. Just listen to the sound of true defeat in the voice of everybody's second favorite diversity hire, Karine Jean-Pierre. And this was just day one.
One more. Okay.
Thank you, Karine. If the special counsel says President Biden's got significant limitations on his memory, then who is helping him run the country?
The President of the United States runs the country. The Commander-in-Chief runs the country.
How can he be trusted with the nuclear codes if, I get that you're saying that nobody in the building would say that he's got an issue with his memory, but just a little part of what we get to see, he's made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake on camera this week.
So I'm going to be very clear here. The reality is that report, that part of the report, does not live in reality. It just doesn't.
So the special counsel is lying about the president's memory.
It was gratuitous. You heard from Ian Sams, my colleague. It is unacceptable, and it does not live in reality. That is just the facts. And look, it is a closed case. That is what the special counsel said. And what matters is that the president in the last 3 years has delivered on the economy, has delivered on health care, has turned this country around after the last president left us with an economy that was in a tailspin. That's what we were dealing with, and that is what matters. That part of the report does not live in reality. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
When can we talk to the president's doctor?
So according to Karine Jean-Pierre, the reality is that part of the report is just not reality. And they keep saying this over and over again, but the problem is that being in the report is the only thing that is keeping Joe Biden from being indicted as a result of 40 years of mishandling state secrets and classified documents. And he keeps blaming his staff, but if it's his staff's fault, has he been that habitually bad at choosing staff? I think probably if you look at our current government, that's probably true. But I mean, that's pretty impressive that they've all been that bad. But just listen to the gaslighters, man. They keep saying it's a closed case, and that's what the special counsel said. But they only want you to believe a tiny, tiny little selected bit of what the special counsel actually said. But that's just not how it works. I mean, we don't get to pick and choose parts of the Trump indictments, put them in two categories: lives in reality, doesn't live in reality. No, it doesn't work like that. It's either all right or it's all wrong. And I'm going to say it's probably all right. They had an entire team of lawyers writing the thing. So I'm going to do what the left is always preaching, and I'm just going to go ahead and trust the experts. And as far as the whole narrative they keep parading out there, they keep saying the president's delivered, jobs, inflation, CHIPS Act, infrastructure, same crap they always say. They say, how do you think he's been able to do that? And I got to say, I think that is exactly what Peter Doocy was asking. How has he done that? And if he hasn't done that, who has done that? And almost as important, if not more important than all this, where in the hell has the media actually been? What did they think was going to happen when they concealed and covered up the mental decline of an 80-year-old man who is leading the free freaking world? What did they think was going to happen? And now they want to face it? Well, who knows what their reasoning is, but they are facing it now. So Joe Biden, his days as president are probably numbered. If you haven't followed the timeline, DOJ report came out after a Biden appointee, Merrick Garland, by the way, signed off on it. The media went crazy about the report. Biden announced a surprise press conference with no set topic. The world speculated and really hoped that he was about to resign. I hoped, at least. Instead, he defiantly tried to prove that he was capable, but that flopped and completely fell apart in pretty typical Biden comedic timing. And now here we are. This is not going away. And even Kamala Harris had to take time out from writing her book about school buses to try and prop up the sweet, well-meaning, elderly old man with a poor memory from Delaware. Have a look at an especially triggered diversity hire right here.
I have been privileged and proud to serve as Vice President of the United States with Joe Biden as President of the United States. And what I saw of that report last night, I believe is, as a former prosecutor, the comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate. October 7th, Israel experienced a horrific attack, and I will tell you, we got the calls, the president and myself, in the hours after that occurred. It was an intense moment for the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, and I was in almost every meeting with the president in the hours and days that followed. Countless hours with the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of State, the heads of our intelligence community, and the president was in front of and on top of it all, asking questions and requiring that America's military and intelligence community and diplomatic community would figure out and know how many people were dead, how many are Americans, how many hostages, is the situation stable? He was in front of it all, coordinating and directing leaders who are in charge of America's national security, not to mention our allies around the globe. For days, and up until now, months. So the way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated.
Politically motivated? The only thing politically motivated is this speech right here. Just look how seriously she's taken this. No real word salads, no cackling, witch laugh. She's got it all pretty buttoned up, which is freaking amazing. I didn't know she could do it. But I think it's that she sees what's going on. She is so close that she can taste being president. Just got to hold it all together and get Joe over the finish line, and she's there. He can't quit now because she'd never ever win the general, and she knows it. But I've got bad news for her. I think I smell another plan coming, but I'll stay on point here for a moment. She says this is politically motivated, right? This is a report from a special counsel every Democrat supported. A guy who reported directly to Merrick Garland. And it was Merrick Garland who signed off on the final draft of this report. And I know this is off topic, but every time I mention Merrick Garland, I have to think and I have to give credit to Mitch McConnell for the one true contribution to society that he ever made, at least while he was in government. He kept Merrick Garland from a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. No matter what we think of Mitch McConnell, that is freaking heroic. But anyway, so this report is not politically motivated. That is only a smokescreen to keep us from realizing that the only thing politically motivated is the fact that it's just a report and not an indictment.
Gratuitous. And so I will say that when it comes to the role and responsibility of a prosecutor in a situation like that, we should expect that there would be a higher level of integrity than what we saw.
Oh man, that was amazing. She looks strong and commanding, right? When I look at her, I see someone who really believes that they belong there. And when she looks at her, I think she sees the next president of the United States, like the absolute life imitating art incarnation of the Veep show. I still, 3 years in, cannot believe it. But here's the thing. If I'm right, and I believe I probably am, she's going to be pretty upset because I think the plan is Joe Biden is going to win the nomination. Then he's going to pardon his son and he's going to resign as president, citing family obligations and his promise that he was only going to be a transition president, whatever that means, and blah, 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 blah. He's going to do it 2 or 3 days before the Democrat Party convention. the delegates, they'll already be there, and they're going to hammer out a nominee the same way Cardinals pick the Pope. And that will be that. And I don't think Kamala makes it out of the second round, honestly. But anyway, that's just my working theory. We'll see how it goes, but that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.